have been celebrating Black History Month throughout February by shining a spotlight on some lesser-known figures in the Black community who have made a big impact on society. Our next guest certainly fits that mold.
Yes.
Take a look. As a mom of a young daughter, leadership professor Tiffney Laing realized she wanted to change the narrative on Black History Month for not just her child, but children around the world. Tiffney believed that Black History Month was too focused on slavery and oppression and not on all the amazing, inspirational African Americans who have contributed so much to society. Frustrated by the lack of Black history teaching materials in schools, Tiffney started Bevy and Dave, a company that makes educational toys that allows kids to learn and have fun. Tiffney hopes that with her toys, she can show children the resiliency and courage displayed throughout Black history. This mom on a mission is changing narratives and becoming an inspirational figure in her own right.
Woo.
Everybody, please welcome the founder of the educational toy company, Bevy and Dave,
Yes.
Tiffney Laing.
Yes.
Tiffney, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And in that piece, we talked about Black History Month. And what does Black History Month mean to you? Because you looked at it a little differently.
Yeah, so when I think of Black history, I literally think of self-leadership. I think of courage, strength, hope, and so much more. There's so much beauty, and it's so inspirational, and that's what I want people to see. I don't want them to be focused on slavery and oppression, because it's not something that it's the story. It's just not the story. It's part of the African American experience, but it's not the story. So there's so many contributions that we all benefit from, and I want people to be inspired by that.
Yes, absolutely. And you went from professor to toy maker.
Yes.
So how did you come up with the idea for the toys?
You know, after having my daughter, I totally realized, okay, you know what? Children learn through play.
Yep.
And you have to be creative, and you have to make it fun.
Sure.
And you want it to be exciting. You want people to be inspired by it. So for me, it was a matter of thinking about the end result. The end result is I want people to become leaders and to be inspired by these stories. Because my background is developing leaders. And so that's how I start the creative process. And from there, I continue on with another story of what are they going to get out of this? How can I make it fun and joyful for them? That joy I want them to feel, how can I bring that out and make it alive? And so that's where we have educational toys.
Well, can you show us one of your toys?
Yes. So here's the History Makers Puzzle Black set. This is the this is the first product I ever came out with, the flagship. And I'm gonna give you an example of how this works. So with this, A is no longer for Apple. A is for appreciation.
Ooh.
Okay, B is for Benjamin Banneker. C is for commitment. When we talk about helping children to understand self-leadership, when they pick up the letter G, they're going to turn it over, they're going to associate it with the word gift. And then they're going to learn that their talents are a special gift and they should be used to contribute their best to society. So I'm trying to encourage children to see that leadership is already in them, just as it was in my ancestors. And I want to inspire them through those stories.
Yeah.
Even if they're interested in a different industry.
Oh my gosh, I know you've probably had so many amazing moments over the course of creating this and seeing people when they receive it. Is there a memorable one that you can tell us about?
Yes. So one day, me and my daughter was having a discussion. We always have discussions, and we were talking about my ancestors, our ancestors, and she said, "Mommy, you know, our ancestors are here because you made the toys. They're here with us." And I was blown away. I couldn't even believe she said it. I literally got on my knees immediately to get to her level. I hugged her so tight because that was what I needed, that confirmation of that I know is helping. I know it's helping because she said that. And so I just felt so blessed.
And I'm looking at this Inventor's Legacy board and the stoplight, sugar, your third rail, everything. It's like, it's so amazing what the history is. And I love what you're doing because you're starting at the grassroots level so kids understand early on the history and heritage of being African American. But I want to ask the question to your husband and your daughter, Beverly and Elmo. What do you think about mom and wifey going into the toy business?
It's amazing.
You liked it? And how about you?
Man, amazing. But this is what my wife is. So what you're seeing, what you see is what you get.
Wow.
Genuine, sweet educator.
And what's your goal for the products?
So my it goes with, you know, what made me get into this, my own frustration of what was available in schools, right?
As
that
a professor and a teacher.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what? This has to be an education system. I want families and educators in schools to carry this. I want them to use it as their own way of helping to develop children to be leaders and to contribute their own best to society, just as my ancestors. And I'm hoping to change that narrative.
You better be in this book, be in this game too.
Yeah.
You're making history. Yes.
Tiffany, I mean, we can't thank you enough. I think this is the most amazing thing out there. So thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
much.